Our moral duty. The Prime Minister's passionate plea to get children back to school next month.
With Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The Prime Minister made an impassioned pledge today to make getting children back to school in England the national priority. Boris Johnson said it was a moral duty to return all pupils to classrooms, potentially at the expense of closing pubs and shops again if necessary. Well, some students will have spent almost 6 months with no schooling come September, but not everyone is convinced it will be safe to go back. That as the daily number of COVID cases in the UK passed 1,000 for the first time in 6 weeks. Our political correspondent Carl Dinnan reports. Labour MP Dawn Butler says she believes she was a victim of racial profiling after the car she was in was stopped by police in East London. The former Shadow Equalities Minister was in a car being driven by a black friend when it was pulled over. The Home Office says more than 500 people have arrived in the UK since Thursday after crossing the English Channel in small boats. And on another hot day, ITV News filmed even more Border Force boats bringing migrants to shore today. The Home Secretary has appointed a new Channel Threat Commander to tackle the problem. Paul Davis has more. The UK has pledged an extra £20 million in aid for those affected by Tuesday's deadly explosion in Beirut. At least 220 people are now thought to have died, with 100 others still missing. A day on from widespread protests against the government, the streets were noticeably quieter, but the anger hasn't gone away, nor the wish for change. Our correspondent Emma Murphy reports from Beirut. Brazil's death toll from coronavirus has surpassed the grim milestone of 100,000, only 5 months after the first confirmed case there. The country has reported an average of more than 1,000 COVID deaths a day since late May, and there are fears that infections in Brazil have yet to reach their peak. Our correspondent John Ray reports. The BBC has apologised for using a highly offensive racial slur in a TV news report last Wednesday. The word football and Scottish champion Celtic have dropped points on the second weekend of the new season. And finally, in Formula One, Red Bull's Max Verstappen took a surprise win in a thrilling race at Silverstone today, beating Lewis Hamilton to the top spot. A week after the British Grand Prix, the sport returned to the former World War II airfield for an event to commemorate 70 years since the circuit hosted F1's very first race. Chris Scudder was watching. And that is all for now. I'm back with the late news at 10:40. Until then, whatever you're doing, enjoy your evening.